United just will not stop. 2 good days in a row. Yesterday was all about agreeing the deal with Sesko. Yesterday was Baliba news. But today has gone one step further. Now we're hearing that Garnacho has apparently agreed personal terms with Chelsea, so he's on his way there. And the best part about it is that United value Garnacho about 50 million. We all know that's absurd. But Chelsea value him at around 30 million. Now, you might think 30 million, 50 million, big jump. But what works in our favor now, which other clubs have done to us so many times, is comparable valuation. They'll pull a player like Alanga or Madueke and they'll say, you know what, if you want, let's say, Anthony Gordon, then if these guys went for this much, then Anthony Gordon's going to go for like 40 or 50 million more than them because they're 40, 50 million better than these players. For example, Madueke. But we've never got the opportunity to do that ourselves because we didn't have players that other teams thought were valuable in whatever way. Now with Garnacho, we all know that he's a liability. He cannot work in this system. He cannot work in most systems unless it's a bench option. He can come on off the bench and that's about the maximum impact that he can have. Now, if you're telling me that there's a possibility we could even get rid of him for hopefully 40 million pounds, that 40 million pounds is then directly invested into Baliba and we get Baliba. So essentially what Chelsea did with the Mason Mount deal, when Chelsea sold Mason Mount to us, they got 60 million and that allowed them to go and purchase Caicedo indirectly because it's the same concept. When you sell a homegrown player, the budget that you have left to spend is almost double what you've earned. So if we earn about 40 million, we can about spend 80 million-ish. And with us signing Mason Mount from Chelsea, that gave them almost 60 million, which is double that 120 million which they spent on Caicedo. We could be able to do that with Baliba. Because Baliba is not going to cost 120, by the way. Because even if there's news that they want to keep Baliba, the best news that we've got around that deal so far is that Brighton are not saying that he is not for sale at all. Yes, they want to keep Baliba. Yes, they don't want to just sell their best player. Yes, they are looking for a price range, something around what they value him at. Because they think that he's going to become Caicedo. So they're going to say, we need something that matches that value. But does that mean that it's out of the realms of possibility that we get him? No. Because if we can negotiate a good deal, and good deals are what we have been doing throughout this entire transfer window, what we've been doing ever since Ineos have taken over. So while Brighton are quoting about 105 million pounds for Baliba, there's a very good possibility that the negotiation team can bring this fee down from 105 million to even a respectable amount of 85 plus 5, 85 plus 10, 90 plus 5. However we go about it, we will give an offer that is suitable enough for Brighton to at least consider. Now add to that the fact Baliba definitely wants to join. So we have a player that definitely wants to join us, wants to start right away. But the only barrier to the deal is the price range, right? But now you think about it. If United have come to the negotiation table, they have come to say, you know what, Baliba is a decent target. We might actually consider Baliba. Do you think they think that Baliba is going to cost 40, 50 million pounds? Do you think they think it's going to cost 60 million? Because judging by Baliba's abilities, how unique his profile is, especially how important he is to this team, we value him. Even if we say 70 million, we don't really value him at 70 million. That's just paper talk. What we really value him at is probably closer to 80 million, 85, 90. But even if we value him at a 90 or 100, we're not going to just pay 100, are we? We're going to try to negotiate that down. Brings you to the Sesko deal. Look at what we have done with the Sesko deal, guys. Pretty much what's happening is it's an 85 million euro deal, including the bonuses. But they wanted 90 million, right? And so we gave them 90 million. How do we do this? Essentially, what we did is we just agreed to a friendly with Leipzig. So essentially, we're not paying out of our own pocket. In one way or the other, the fans are gonna pretty much fund the bonuses for the Sesko deal. Now, you tell me, have we ever done this before? Any kind of deal where we have found ways to be creative with a deal? And tell me, I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me, this is a very clever way to go about a deal, especially a deal involving Sesko, where Newcastle wanted to pay 95 million, but then we said not 90 million and we're going to cut it right there, 90 million euros and the deal is sealed. And here we are now with Sesko in, with Mbeumo in. Mbeumo, by the way, who, yes, he's 70 million, but you could say that there were other teams who were willing to pay much higher prices. But we just said, you know what, we'll sit back. We're going to watch you fail because Mboma wants to come to us, just like Spurs did. You can put your last minute hijack bid. You can put 80 million, 90 million, 100 million. It doesn't matter because we have just negotiated with Mboma and he has told us that he wants to join us. Add to the fact that we have staggered payments over about 3 or 4 years. So we're not even paying the lump sum 70 million. We're going to pay almost like 25 million or so, or less than that. And the same thing with the Cunha deal. Even that deal, even though it is a release clause, it has been broken down into segments. So smaller payments mean that we have more money in the transfer budget to spend on the players we want. Example, Baliba. So you look at even the Cunha deal. The Cunha deal has been factored into the 24-25 accounts, not even the 25-26 accounts, which means that essentially the only things that have been accounted for so far are the Mboma and Sesko deals, which means there's still more area for us to invest into Baliba, into Donnarumma, because those are going to be the next deals. It's just about when, but it looks like Baliba and Donnarumma are the ones that are coming through next. Donnarumma, 26 to 30 million pounds is what they're asking for because they brought in Chevalier. So the next move is to get rid of Donnarumma. Now, he might ask for wages. Some of you might say, we need to stick to that wage budget. For somebody like Donnarumma who has accomplished what he has accomplished, I'm even willing to go past that barrier. I would give him 250k. I'd give him 300 because in goalkeeping, what you need is just excellence. You can't be mediocre. You can't be, you know what, other players will cover for you. You either have to be good or you're just not it. And for Donnarumma, who has won the treble, you call it what you like, but Donnarumma has won the treble, he has won the Euros, and he is a certified baller. So you just bring him in regardless of what they ask for. Same thing with Baliba. Would I pay 100 million pounds? Yes, I would. Why? Because he's such a unique profile. Are we going to get him next summer? If we wait, if just like Brighton want, we wait and there's a young 19-year-old midfielder at Brighton who they want to build up for next season. If we wait for that period, do we think, first of all, number one, that we're going to get him for 100 million? Probably not. Number two, are we going to be the only club in for him? Probably not. Now, would you completely be against him if he wanted to join a Liverpool or Man City, if the situation came to that? Maybe he might just go pick that. But this season, we know for a fact, no heads are turned. It's just us. We have X amount of money left. Now, can we pay that X amount of money? Can we make that X amount of money the final transfer fee? That's the whole discussion. Now, do you think that we're going to sign Baliba? We are having 2 amazing days in a row. Garnacho's gone. Højlund now is going on loan for potentially. And if it's to AC Milan, the deal that we've structured out is essentially 5 million euros. And we still don't know anything about the wages. But what we do know is that if they were to activate the deal, it would be about a 40 million euro buyout. And that could extend to 50 million euros. Now, do you believe that that's ever going to be triggered? For me, I don't think so. I think he's going to be back next summer. So that means we've at least got 5 million euros and potentially the wages are all covered by AC Milan. In that case, are you against it? I'm probably not. So considering this could be a window, add Baliba and Donnarumma to what we have already signed, what more would you do? Now, we would get rid of Sancho. Anthony is going to go one way or the other, either on a loan or a permanent deal, depending on what happens. Sancho will be gone. Garnacho looks like he'll be gone to Chelsea. And so will Højlund. So essentially, we are moving. We are doing the things we need to do. Haven't we been asking this for how many years? And now we're finally getting this. Guys, this is why you just give it patience and we will succeed. So comment down below, who would you sell next? What kind of money are we getting? What kind of players are we getting? And drop your next starting 11 for this season. For the game against Arsenal, drop your starting 11 in the comments down below and see you all in the next one.